The similarities between Pixar's Toy Story and Jim Henson's The Christmas Toy are absolutely insane, and while I couldn't find any direct evidence, based on the plot, characters, and other nuances, it certainly does make you assume that the creators of Toy Story were influenced by the 1986 TV special. How much of an influence? Well, that's for you to decide. Let's break down the crazy similarities between Toy Story and The Christmas Toy. So the idea of toys coming to life when humans are away is not exactly original. And this topic has been around in movies and other forms of media for more than a century. And you especially think of toys during holidays like Christmas. So obviously the idea of living, breathing, amorphic toys has always been a popular concept for Christmas movies. These films of the past likely have influenced and inspired other filmmakers and probably will continue to do so in the future. But there's something different about The Christmas Toy, a 1986 TV special created by Jim Henson Productions, which aired on December 6, 1986. Because several of the elements in the plot and the characters in the film are nearly identical to Toy Story. Even the spin-off series 1994's The Secret Life of Toys could almost be an alternative title for the film. The Christmas Toy begins by introducing us to the toys in Jamie's Playroom, who have their own secret community when humans are away. Each toy has their own personality, and there's somewhat of a pecking order in the playroom. Of course, when humans enter the room, the toys immediately freeze again, creating the appearance of being inanimate. Sound familiar? Because it should. This is the same exact introduction and premise of Toy Story, which was released nearly a decade later in 1995. The lead character is Rugby the Tiger. He's not only Jamie's favorite toy, but he was also the big present under last year's Christmas tree. He isn't shy about telling the toys this either, as he talks down to certain toys in the playroom, including a loyal cat toy named Mew. Rugby's personality is nearly identical to Sheriff Woody in Toy Story. Now in 1995's Toy Story, Woody is a little nicer than Rugby, though the original script called for Woody to be just as smug and condescending. And while he may not talk down to him, there is somewhat of a dynamic similar to Woody and Slinky Dog as there is to Rugby and Mew. There's also a few other similarities with the toys in the playroom, such as the Barbie doll knockoff and the wise old venerable teddy bear named Balthazar. Barbie was featured in Toy Story 2 through Toy Story 4, and the creators originally wanted her to be in the first film before Mattel refused. The character of Lotso Huggin' Bear was originally written for an unproduced Pixar special, A Tin Toy Christmas. He would later be introduced in Toy Story 3, and his origin story is nearly identical to Rugby. Obviously, I'm not really comparing Lotso to Rugby, but it is interesting how the same concept was used in both films. And check this out, look how Balthazar and Lotso both walk around the playroom with a walking stick. Speaking of Christmas, the majority of Toy Story is not set during holiday time, though the film does flash forward to Christmas at the end. But rather than Christmas, Toy Story takes place around another occasion, where toys are also prevalent, that being a child's birthday. And the idea of a new toy is where the main conflict is created, as Rugby Tiger realizes that there's going to be a new Christmas toy under the tree. Facing the possibility of being replaced as his owner's favorite toy, he immediately feels threatened and is saddened to learn he'll no longer be the Christmas toy. Of course, this is exactly the main plot of Toy Story, as Woody encounters these same feelings of jealousy, abandonment, and insecurity. But the similarities don't end there, because we all know that the new toy in Toy Story is...
I'm Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger, Universe Protection Unit.
And in the Christmas Toy, it's...
I am Meteora, Queen of the Asteroids!
Both of these futuristic characters are from outer space, and neither realizes that they are simply a toy. Rather, they think that they're the original character that the toy is based on. And much like Toy Story, the Christmas Toy's plot features a rescue mission, a redemption arc, and of course, at the end, all the toys live happily ever after. So as you can see, the plots and characters of these two films are frighteningly similar, but let's dig a bit deeper. Toy Story is credited to several writers, but namely John Lasseter, Pete Docter, Andrew Stanton, and Joe Ranft. The film is rumored to have been written as early as 1991. A Tin Toy Christmas, which included elements of what would become Toy Story, was likely written in the early 1990s. So essentially, the Christmas toy would have been around for a good 5 years at least before the Pixar crew wrote either of these screenplays. What are the chances that these three saw the TV special before writing their scripts? Well, according to the site TV Tango, the Christmas toy scored a 10.7 viewer rating. Decent, but not a huge number either. Still, it was nominated for a 1987 Primetime Emmy. It makes you think that those in the entertainment or animation industry, like the team at Pixar, probably were aware of this special. More so when you consider that all were fans of Muppets and Jim Henson's work. In fact, in this interview with Den of Geek, Pete Docter confirms the influence that Jim Henson and the Muppets had on Toy Story. What I'm getting at here is that while there's no formal connection, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that the team of animators who were fans of Muppets and likely followed the entertainment industry closely probably viewed the Christmas toy in 1986 before writing the scripts to A Tin Toy Christmas and Toy Story. So does this mean that Toy Story is a blatant ripoff? In my opinion, I think the team at Pixar had way too much respect for an artist like Henson and his ideas to repackage them and present them as their own. So I think the blatant plagiarism angle goes out the window. But again, the similarities are so striking, and while I couldn't find any direct evidence of the creators citing that the Christmas toy was an influence, I'd be surprised if this special didn't have an effect on the 4 Muppet fans who originally wrote Toy Story. We'll never really know for sure, but the similarities between these films is definitely there, and it's interesting to theorize what may have or have not happened. So if you haven't seen either of these films, right now is a great chance to check them out and make up your mind for yourself. Go ahead and watch both and let me know your thoughts below. Are there any connections that I missed? Do you think that I'm off base and that these two films are related only by coincidence? I would love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.